Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Chuck. Welcome back to the Skull Zone. Today's video, we are going to be doing a post-free agency NFL Power Rankings. If you guys are excited for this video, hit that like button, subscribe. We will be doing a Power Rankings after free agency, and then we'll be doing an official one before the season starts. So there will be time apart between this video and the next Power Ranking, and then the one after that. But then we'll do weekly ones after that. Once the season starts, of course. Again, if you like this video, subscribe, hit that like button, and let's get straight into this video. Starting at number 32, I'm going the Tennessee Titans. Titans, they have the number 1 overall pick for a reason. They were the worst team last season. Will Levis was not good at all. I'm sorry, I like Will Levis a lot. I think he's a good person. He's just not good at being quarterback. He's just not a good quarterback. And I get it, not everyone's meant to be a quarterback anyway. There's only a few elite quarterbacks. But they're at position to get the first quarterback off the board, Cam Ward. If they don't, then they're probably going to Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. I don't know who they're going to get. I'm personally thinking they're going to go Cam Ward. They need a quarterback. The person who is the current head coach of the Titans, Brian Callahan, he did not draft Will Levis. He doesn't have to keep Will Levis. It's not someone he drafted. So he doesn't, if he wants to truly build around a team, he's going to have to go with someone that he chooses. And if he thinks Cam Ward's the best quarterback and he's in position to do it, go ahead. If not, he could trade back, go Jackson Dart, maybe get Shedeur Sanders if he trades back a couple spots. I think if he trades back to number 3, he's pretty much not going Cam Ward or Shedeur unless Shedeur does fall to him. Next up, we got the Cleveland Browns at 31. I wanted to put them at 32, but it was just hard to put them at 32. Realistically, I could see them being just a quarterback away. If they get the right quarterback, they could be a pretty good team. Maybe some other wide receiver help, maybe get Stephon Diggs or something. I know you're low on cap, but there's still a lot that you have to do. But realistically, they are pretty much one quarterback away. They just need 1 year of a good quarterback play. I mean, look what they did in 2023. They had 11 wins, making the playoffs. Yes, they got destroyed by the Texans in the wild card, but they still went 11-6 with decent QB play, with Joe Flacco playing pretty good. If they can get, if Kenny Pickett can somehow be really good, or at least decent, at least not throw 30 interceptions, they could be a decent team. Maybe go Abdul Carter with your 2nd overall pick. Get a running back in the 2nd round. Get a receiver in the 3rd round. Or quarterback in the 3rd round to replace Kenny Pickett, because obviously he's not. I don't expect him to be good at all if he starts. And they have some good offensive players. If Nick Chubb can get healthy and actually play at a decent level instead of just not even 50 yards a game. I mean, yeah, they lost Amari Cooper. Maybe they could bring him back because he's still a free agent right now. Jerry Jeudy was amazing last season with Jameis Winston at quarterback. Their O-line is not bad. They did lose Dalvin Tomlinson to the Cardinals. I don't think that's going to be a big hit. If they get Abdul Carter, that's completely gone. That doesn't matter. Now, if they don't get anyone to replace him, well, obviously that's a problem. And there's a part that you need to fix. They still got Denzel Ward. They still got, I forget his name. They still got some good depth on defense. Good players on defense. Good receivers. They just need to get a quarterback, realistically. Number 30, we got the Saints. Now, I know they did some things like re-sign Chase Young, bring back Tyrann Mathieu and Cam Jordan on, reconstructor-type contracts. They got Rashid Shaheed, they got Alvin Kamara, and they got Chris Olave, who has injury concerns. They have some good players. I'll admit it, they do have some good players. Just, I don't see Derek Carr having an amazing season and bringing this team to 9 wins. Now, it's possible. They did in 2023. They had 9 wins. The Saints could be good. They have so much potential, especially the first 2 weeks. And they do have Kellen Moore now. I don't think he's going to be a big upgrade, but I don't think he's going to be bad. And Brandon Staley is not a bad defensive coach. He's a bad head coach, for sure. But defensive coach, he's not bad. I think they could be good. They could be secret contenders. I like Derek Carr. I hope he does succeed. I really, really do. I'm excited to see what he can do next year. Hey, maybe they'll surprise people. You can't say anything anymore. You really can't. No one thought the Texans were going to be good in 2023. No one thought the Broncos or the Commanders or the Vikings would be good in 2024. We can't just say, oh, they're going to be trash. On paper, they look trash. But we'll see. Next up, we got the Giants at 29, only because they're in a good spot to draft a quarterback if quarterback doesn't go 1 and 2. And, they did bring Javon Holland to the team. I really wanted him on the Vikings, but can't get them all. I admit it. You can't get them all. They obviously got Malik Neighbors. They brought back Slayton, I believe. I believe he's the one that they brought back. I can't remember. They have him regardless. Obviously, their O-line needs help, but their O-line is not garbage. Their O-line's bad, not garbage. Their defense is going to be really good next year. Dexter Lawrence is going to be really good. I expect their defense to be top half defense, maybe even top 10. And if they get a good quarterback play like Russell Wilson or I guess Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, or Jameis Winston even. I mean, he's going to throw 30 interceptions, but he might also throw 30 touchdowns. So the Giants aren't going to be bad. This is basically just off paper right now, like off what they are right now. The Giants don't have a quarterback. They have Tommy DeVito. He's cool, but he's not starting quarterback material, obviously. So these are based off how they are right now. Okay, so if you guys are getting mad at me for certain rankings, this is based off their paper and what they've done. Next up, 28, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, yes, I know they brought Geno Smith. They have Brock Bowers. They lost to Dean Diablo, I believe his name is. Can't remember his name. They lost him. They did sign Max Crosby to a giant contract. They brought Raheem Mostert. Besides that, they got Jacoby Myers. Cool. Depends on who they draft, but right now they're not the greatest team. I believe they lost their starting corner, Nate Hobbs. Well, I know they lost Nate Hobbs, but I don't know if he's a starting corner or anything. I just don't see him doing well. Unless Geno Smith plays amazing. I'm not writing him off. I would never write off Geno. He plays amazing every year since he went to the Seahawks. And he does have his good coach. I'm forgetting his name. I'm tired, okay? I'm tired. I've had 5 hours of sleep today. But they have their coach. They have a good coach. And they're probably going to draft Ashton Genty. If not, Tetsuo McMillan. If not, I don't know who they're going to draft. A good spot to draft a good weapon on offense. So, depending on that, this is not predicting where they're going to end next year. No, because that's impossible for anyone. Vikings could be terrible. Vikings could be a Super Bowl team. Who knows? We really don't know. Truly. We know based off what we've done and based off what we have, but we don't know how it's going to play out. Injuries happen. Players break out all the time. Players that are supposed to be really, really good have a terrible season. It's different each year, but we don't truly know. So I'm going based off strength of roster, pretty much. Next up at 27, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Duval. I didn't do it right, but I said it right. Anyway, I don't know how Liam Cohen's gonna do. I don't know how the Buccaneers are gonna do without Liam Cohen. Is he the reason they played good? Is Todd Bowles bad? We don't know. Liam Cohen could be the worst head coach in the league. Liam Cohen could be the best coach in the league. All I know is that the Jaguars are missing a lot of pieces. They need a wide receiver too. They need a tight end. They need a little bit more improvement on the O-line. They need some certain defensive players on their defense. But right now, they're better than the rest of the teams. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. immediately makes that team amazing. Trevor Lawrence is back healthy. Is he good? Is he bad? I don't know. Number 26, we got the Carolina Panthers. Panthers, I like Bryce Young. I hope they draft a wide receiver 1 in first round if they get Tetairoa McMillan. I think I said his name wrong. Tetairoa McMillan. That would be amazing. They still have a lot of defensive problems. They signed a lot of people, but they did bring my boy Pat Jones to the Panthers, and they re-signed Adam Thielen on a 1-year contract. Cool. We need to see a number 1 wide receiver. Hopefully Xavier Legette could pop out to be a number 1 wide receiver. Maybe. They did bring in Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle, I like him a lot. They could be good next year. They could, I actually genuinely expect them to be 7+ wins at least. That's what I expect for them. I like Bryce Young a lot. Obviously I'm Team CJ Stroud out of those, but I like Bryce Young. That doesn't mean I don't. I'm very sad for Jonathan Brooks. I think he tore his ACL again, I believe, and he's out for the next season now. Unless I'm wrong, but that's what I heard. I mean, why else would they bring Rico Dowdle? I like Jonathan Brooks. I thought he was going to be amazing this year, but he got hurt. 25, we got the Colts. And the only reason I have the Colts there is because they brought in Cam Bynum. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the only reason. I mean, that helps them a lot, though. A lot of people said they have one of the worst secondaries in the league. And now with Cam Bynum, it's not going to be true. Now, we don't know how Cam Bynum is outside of the Vikings, outside of Brian Flores. He played amazing with Brian Flores. Obviously, players also do good depending on the coaches. Sometimes they actually suck, but they play amazing because of the coach. So Cam Bynum could be amazing next year. He could be terrible. We don't know. I do know is Anthony Richardson has not proven anything yet. And I'm hoping he breaks out next year and becomes a serviceable receiver. Serviceable quarterback. Now, I gotta actually get past these. This video is gonna be pretty long. So let's just zoom past the rest. 24, New England Patriots. I like all the moves that they did. Bring in Harold Landry. That's an okay move. They brought in, was it Paulson and Debo? Maybe. They brought in a corner. That's all I remember. The only thing I don't know is they don't have a left tackle and they don't have a wide receiver 1, a true wide receiver 1. And that's stuff they really need. For Drake May to succeed, you need to give him a wide receiver 1. Now, obviously, 23, we got the New York Jets. I like the Justin Fields signing a lot. I really want him to go there. And now he is there. So now he can prove himself. I've been a Justin Fields fan. Ever since I started watching football, I've been a Fields fan. Specifically, the 2024 free agency just made me like him a lot. I love his personality. I think he could be a really good quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback at all. And him throwing to his buddy from OSU, Garrett Wilson, just makes sense. And it's going to pay out, but we have to see it happen for me to fully believe it. Because I'm not going on that hype train again. I really thought Aaron Rodgers was going to do something next year. I really thought Aaron Rodgers was going to do something last year. I don't know why. I really thought they were going to make the playoffs. Silly me. Next, we got 22, the Miami Dolphins. They lost a lot of defensive players, well, specifically Javon Holland. I don't think they lost that many players. Hopefully Bradley Chubb is back, and hopefully, I'm forgetting his name. The person who keeps getting hurt every year, past 2 years. I hope Tua plays amazing next year, similar to what he did in 2023. That would be amazing. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Nick Westbrook-Akine, Jonnu Smith. They got weapons. They need an O-line. That's what they need. They need defense. They need safety. They need corner. Yes, they got Jalen Ramsey, but he's not as good as he used to be. They need a corner too. 21, I got the 49ers. They lost a lot of players. 2 of them being to the Vikings. They lost Jordan Mason. They lost Javon Hargrave. They lost Dre Greenlaw. They lost Talanoa Hufanga. There's some other players they lost to. They lost Kyle Juszczyk for like a week, but then he re-signed to that team. They lost Deebo Samuel. Brock Purdy still has yet to get a contract extension. That's probably what they're cutting all these players for, is for Brock Purdy. Now, I love him. A lot of people hate on him. I think he's a good quarterback. A lot of trade rumors for Brandon Ayuk. Is he going to get traded? Is he going to stay on the team? The coach apparently, or I think the owner, he apparently said that he regrets signing Deebo and regrets signing Brandon Ayuk. And I agree. The way he did it was definitely not the way he should have. And obviously, he thought he deserved to get paid, and at that time, I agreed. And then he gets hurt. Does nothing. Number 20, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I know they just signed Chase and Higgins to, like, massive deals. But, they're most likely trading away Trey Hendrickson. Not guaranteed, but most likely they're trading him away. Again, they do still have him for 1 more year on contract. They could keep him or trade him at mid-season point. I'm making a video. We don't know. But what I do know is they do not have very much money and very much cap. And they're not going to have much money or much cap for the next years to come. They got Joe Burrow on contract with a massive deal. They got Ja'Marr Chase. They got T. Higgins. Their defense is terrible. They lost Sam Hubbard. They're going to lose Trey Hendrickson, most likely. They had one of the worst defenses in the league last year, and now it looks like it's going to happen again. Now, they did win 9 games last year, but that's with Trey Hendrickson and with Sam Hubbard. How are they going to do without Sam Hubbard and without Trey Hendrickson? Now, of course, T. Higgins is probably happy he got a contract and not on the cap anymore and not on the tag anymore. So he's probably going to ball out. I expect both receivers to get over 1,200 yards, probably, and Joe Burrow with 5,000 yards. Their offense is going to be probably number 1, but their defense is probably going to be number 30 or 31. The only way they can realistically be somewhat competitive is if their draft hits are amazing. Next up, at 19, we got the Green Bay Packers. Not luck. I'm a Vikings fan. I'm going to hate on the Packers. You're damn right. Duh. But biased aside, they don't have a wide receiver 1. Yes, Josh Jacobs is amazing. I personally don't think Jordan Love is amazing. Now, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback. But he's not an Aaron Rodgers type quarterback or a Brett Favre type quarterback or a Tom Brady or even just like a CJ Stroud type quarterback. He's like under their tier. They're probably going to lose Jair Alexander. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, so I don't know. Maybe. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. They got Nate Hobbs. Okay. Decent, I guess. They got some sort of offensive lineman. Definitely overspent on him because I don't even know who he is. I'm not saying that I'm super knowledgeable in the NFL. I've only been watching the NFL for 2 years now, going into my 3rd year. I see the Packers bottoming the division. That's all I'm saying. Bottom of the division. That's it. Next up, we got the division rival Chicago Bears at 18. They did some really good moves. They got Jonah Jackson, I believe, from the Rams. They got Joe Thuney from the Chiefs. They signed Drew Dahlman. So their interior now is completely different. They overhauled the entire O-line. They still got their tackles. I think Broderick Jones and Darnell Wright is the rest of their 2 tackles. They got Caleb Williams. I think he's a stud. I watched Andrew Frankie go try to chase him down and obviously failed. He threw a Patrick Mahomes type throw. I'm scared to play against Caleb Williams. I'm going to admit it. DeAndre Swift is okay. They're probably not going to keep him. If somehow Ashton Jeanty falls to him, they're probably going to draft him. I mean, they probably should if he falls to them. They just overhauled their entire O-line. They added a lot of players on defense that I don't know. Obviously, I'm a casual. I don't watch football that much. So a lot of these takes that you guys are getting, you're all like laughing at me, calling me stupid. That's fine. I'm a casual, okay? I'm in it. But they signed a bunch of defensive players that I don't know. Some of them, I think one of them was someone I know. I don't remember. I think their defense is going to be good. Put it plainly, I think their defense is going to be good. I think their offense is going to be good. At receiver, they have DJ Moore, Rome Odunze. I believe Rondale Moore, is he still in Chicago? No. Yeah, he's in Chicago going to the Jets, I believe now. He's visiting the Jets. I don't know. I want him to stay in Minnesota, but he left Minnesota, went to Chicago, and apparently he's leaving Minnesota and going to the Jets now, to New York. They don't have a wide receiver 2. They don't have a wide receiver 3. I think they're still going to be good, though. Rome Odunze didn't have the year he was supposed to have, but he was their wide receiver 3 on depth chart. So, Cole Kmet might have a great year. I don't know. The Bears might be a playoff team next year. Might, but I'm not going to say it until they prove it. Call it hate air all you want, but I fell for that last year. And the year before that. Next, at 17, we got the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not saying they're going to be good, but on paper, Dak Prescott is good. From what I've seen, watch the 2023 season. He played really good. They got CeeDee Lamb. That's the only good players on offense. They have some decent players that I can't fully think of right now in my head. I know they re-signed that punt returner, and he's pretty good. I mean, he's a good receiver. I know their O-line's not bad. Not good, but not bad. I know they got, BB. They got Tyler Guyton, I think he was, that rookie. And then their defense, they did lose DeMarcus Lawrence. They still have Michael Parsons. He had 8 sacks, missing a lot of the season. So he's really good. I think he had more than that, maybe. I'm not saying they're going to be good next year, but on paper they have some really good players. I think they're going to sign Dak Prescott. I think they're going to sign Micah Parsons in a couple days, couple days, weeks, maybe. We're into the top half of the team. Now we're into the top half of the NFL. At 16, I got the Atlanta Falcons. It really depends on Micah Parsons. It really depends on Michael Penix. Bro, I cannot remember. It also depends on if Kyle Pitts is going to finally break out like he was supposed to. He's a decent tight end. He's not a good tight end. He's a decent tight end right now. Obviously, Darnell Mooney had an amazing season. I watched all Kirk Cousins type games because I'm a Kirk Cousins fan. I'm like a big fan of him. They did add, I think, they added one of the 49ers players that they lost. Can't remember exactly. Drake London is an amazing receiver. They still got some good defensive depth. I don't know. Number at 15. Whatever. Cut that out. We got the Los Angeles Rams. They lost Cooper Kupp, but they replaced him with Devontae Adams, who, in my opinion, is a little bit better. And he's slightly younger and cheaper. Obviously, Puka being amazing. Obviously, Puka's an amazing receiver. Kyren Williams, their defense is amazing. I don't think it's going to be the best, but I think it's going to be a top 5 type defense, maybe top 10. They just have a good around team, in my opinion. Next up, at 14, we got the Seattle Seahawks. It really all depends on Sam Darnold and their O-line. Realistically, their O-line, but we got to see how Sam Darnold does in a new team with a new coach. I like their coach. I think he's a good coach. He was one of the rookies from last year. And, you know, I think he's a good coach. Mike Macdonald, I believe. You know, they brought in Cooper Kupp, and now he's going to be playing the Rams twice a year. Number 13, we got the Houston Texans. H-Town. I got that wrong. H-Town. No, I'm a CJ Stroud fan. I'm not a Texans fan. I like the Texans, but I'm not a Texans fan. I'm a Vikings fan. But I am a CJ Stroud fan and Baker Mayfield fan. Obviously, I have these for a reason. But, you know, it's unfortunate that Tank Dell had to get surgery and now he's out for the entire season. You know, Nico Collins has to step up. And then they got, like, I think John Mechie is still on the roster, so they got him. They did just trade for Christian Kirk. I don't know if he's going to do anything. Can't remember who else they signed recently, but their receiver depth is not that great. Joe Mixon is amazing. Their O-line is terrible. You know, they traded their tackle. Don't know why. But they did trade for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. A lot of people hate on him. I think they're still going to be a 10-win team. I think they're probably going to have the same year from last year. Realistically, they're going to have another 10-win season, win the division, win a playoff game, and that's it. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they'll have an amazing season. Maybe they'll go to Super Bowl like I wanted them to this year. But they didn't. They won a playoff game. That made me happy for him. I watched that game live at work. I was at work watching that game, that playoff game. I think they're going to be good next year, but at 12, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Now, a lot of people still like to hate on Kyler Murray, blah, blah, blah. Watch the Week 2 Rams game. That shows you how good he can really be, how good he really is. He just hasn't shown it 100% throughout the entire season. They won 8 games last season. They did have a stretch where they lost like 3 games in a row. That was disappointing. I really thought they were going to be a playoff team. I thought they were going to win a division because the rest of the division sucked. Seahawks seemed to suck at the time. Or the Seahawks and Rams were mediocre, and the 49ers, I guess, were mediocre for a bit and then just went on a losing streak for the rest of the season. They were 6-6 and finished 6-12. 6-11. I think bringing in another receiver for Kyler Murray to throw to would be awesome. James Conner is on a new contract right now. He's going to be playing good. I don't think their O-line is terrible. They brought in Josh Sweat. I didn't realize how young he was compared to what I thought. I thought he was like 32. But no, he's 28, 29, I believe. And they also brought in Dalvin Tomlinson. A lot of Vikings fans on Twitter were like saying they wanted him. So if the Vikings fans wanted him, Cardinals got him. Don't know why I pointed at a CJ Stroud poster talking about the Cardinals. I have them picking. I'm picking them to win the division. Their division's not great. They're probably going to be similar to last year. Like, Cardinals win like 10 games. Rams win 9. Seahawks win 9. 49ers win 7. Something like that. I don't know. That division's going to be not great. Number 11, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Couldn't put them in top 10, but I like their roster. Now they brought Chris Godwin back on a $20 million a year contract, so it's like 70 or 80 million, something like that. Something like that. They brought in the Jets player, I can't remember his name. I'm blanking on names today, okay, forgive me. Baker Mayfield is almost an elite quarterback. Him, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts are all in the same category of almost elite. Obviously, I got the 4 at elite. You know, the big 4. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. The next three I just named, and Jaden Daniels, are in the almost elite tier. Bo Nix is like right there too, almost in the almost elite tier. Now, if you guys want me to do that, hit that like button, comment down below. If you guys want me to do teams I believe, coaches I believe that will be on the hot seat, because I have a few that I believe are in the hot seat. If you guys want me to do videos like teams that will break out, players that will break out, in my opinion, etc., let me know. But I know on Monday I will be doing my With Trades first round mock draft, because you guys smashed that like goal immediately. Hit 5 likes in like 4 or 5 hours, which is crazy to me. The video now has 68 views in one day, which I don't personally expect. That was crazy on me. Now we're in the top 10. It's not a top 10 tier list without the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I don't think we're going to the Super Bowl year one in the J.J. McCarthy era. That'd be stupid to say. Now, people are betting on it already, and that's fine. That's their money, not mine. I would love to go to the Super Bowl year one in the J.J. McCarthy era. I just don't see it. He's still young, still needs to develop. I mean, young doesn't really matter, but he still needs to develop a little bit, get used to it. I think he's going to start a little slow, but I think by the end of the season, he'll be playing at a Jaden Daniels type level. Now, I could be wrong. He could be a bust. I hope he's not. We do need still a backup quarterback and a wide receiver 3. I love Jalen Nailor, but I just have to put us in the top 10. I mean, especially with the offseason we had. We won 14 games with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's not as good as J.J. McCarthy seems to be. We just brought in Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, Will Fries, Ryan Kelly, 2 of the best interior offensive linemen that were currently in free agency. In fact, 2 of the best that were actually in general. I don't know why they weren't re-signed on the Colts, but the Colts definitely need to get their O-line better. Number 9, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I get it. They don't have a quarterback. I think they're going to sign Russell Wilson. They got DK Metcalf. They did lose their running back, I can't remember his name, Najee Harris, to the Chargers, who happens to be next. Cut that out. I think their 2 receivers, though, just make it automatically really hard to not be good. Obviously, they're going to win 9 games. I would be shocked if they don't win 9 games next year. I don't see them making the playoffs, realistically, unless they get, I don't know. I don't see them making the playoffs. I see them being like the 8th or 9th seed at 9-8, 10-7 maybe. Then T.J. Watt needs to get paid. George Pickens needs to get paid. But they are really just a quarterback away, aren't they? Next up, number 8, we got the Los Angeles Chargers, who just added Mekhi Becton. I think his name is Mekhi Becton at guard. And they added Najee Harris. Now, they still need a receiver, which I expect them to draft in the first round. But now they have J.K. Dobbins and Najee Harris in the same backfield. That's got to scare you. I had them going to the Super Bowl. They might be my Super Bowl pick this year. Them or the Broncos, which are coming up, don't worry. At number 7, we got the Commanders. The picks and the players that they signed this year, I think Deebo Samuel, he's not going to be great, but he's not wide receiver 1, so obviously he's not going to play amazing. Terry McLaurin is going to have another amazing year. They could draft running back in the first round or the second round. Draft a receiver, and they'll be golden. That's what I want them to draft, by the way, in the first round. And then maybe like Travion Henderson or Marion Hampton if he falls that way. Number 6, right outside the top 5, we got the Denver Broncos. who are my Super Bowl pick. I mean, did you see who they get? They got Drake Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga, Evan Ingram. I think that's enough to tell you something. They already have a really good O-line. Bo Nix is amazing. Courtland Sutton, he's good. Marvin Mims is good. They do need a number 1 wide receiver. I think Courtland Sutton's a wide receiver too. Their defense is good. Nick Bonito's still on the team. I have them being a Super Bowl team. I think they're a running back and wide receiver away from being a Super Bowl guaranteed team or Super Bowl contender. Now, number 5, we got blah, 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 the Detroit Lions. A lot of people would say, why aren't you putting them higher? I physically can't. I mean, they have a good team, right? Don't get me wrong. Great team. But their coach, he hasn't shown anything since, losing his offensive and defensive coordinator. Now they have 2 new offensive and defensive coordinator. Now we're truly going to see if it's Dan Campbell who's the reason they won, or if it's Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson that's the reason they won. Now, I don't think they have a really good team, and I'm scared of them for years to come. But I mean, we'll just have to see. They did get DJ Reed. That's an okay grab. I wanted him on the Vikings, or Vikings fans wanted him on the Vikings. Honestly, I don't really care. Number 4, we got the reigning, defending Super Bowl losers. Kansas City Chiefs. Finally, we don't have to say the reigning, defending Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs, or Kansas City Refs. I think they're going to have a really down year. I don't think they're going to win the division. They'll probably still win 10 games, make the playoffs. They brought back Hollywood Brown. They still got Xavier Worthy and Rashid. They still got Xavier Worthy. They still got that receiver. I forget his name. Apologies to him. I'm forgetting his name. I'm blanking on it. Travis Kelce's coming back for one final season. Or at least one more season. I don't know if it's final. They still got a good defense. I don't think they're going to be 10-win. I don't think they're going to be a 15-win team again. Unless the refs are still helping them. Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens at 3. I think D-Hop's going to be an underrated signing. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, we really got D-Hop. I think he's going to have a good year for them. Mark Andrews, as much as people like to criticize him on that dropped play, he's still good. Zay Flowers is amazing. Derrick Henry is the king for a reason. He's the second best running back in the league, in my opinion. Their defense is still good. I think they'll probably win the division. Well, they're definitely going to win the division. Guaranteed. They'll probably win 12, 13, maybe 14 games. Maybe. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills with the best quarterback in the league, Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen a lot. Now, I keep in my head saying, well, they don't have a great receiver. He doesn't need a great receiver to win as many games as they did, to be a good team. They went to the NFC Championship again. Sorry, AFC. They went to the AFC Championship again. Now, they did lose again. I do think the Chiefs' reign is done, so I think it could be the Bills versus Chiefs, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where the Bills are going to go. Are they going to go to the Super Bowl? I hope so. I want Josh Allen to win a Super Bowl. So now he's Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and he's considered the best quarterback in the league. And now, the reigning, defending Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, a lot of people are thinking they're going to go back-to-back. It's possible. They got the players. I do think losing Josh Sweat and losing, they've lost some other a couple players. Darius Slay they cut. C.J. Gardner-Johnson they traded away. Mekhi Becton, they did lose him, but he, a lot of people, apparently Eagles fans don't really care that much. They're going to miss him, but they don't care that much. They did bring Zach Bond back on another 4-year deal. I can't remember exactly. I think they'll have a great season. I think they'll probably win 14 games, get the number 1 bye, go to the NFC Championship. I don't know if they're going to the Super Bowl. I have this team going to the Super Bowl. Just a little hinter. This team versus the Broncos. That could be a fun Super Bowl. I just want someone new. I just want someone new. Now that's my ranking. If you guys enjoyed this video and are enjoying long content, 48 minutes is how long I've been sitting in this chair. 48 minutes, and now I'm probably going to sit here for another hour editing. I'm probably going to edit tomorrow after work at like 7. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I'm probably not going to edit all the way because it's going to be annoying to edit, but if you guys enjoy long content like this or NFL content like this, remember, it's always the NFL season on my channel. I'm always going to upload NFL content. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe, peace, and skull.